Welcome to the Two Marketing Moms podcast.
Two women with 50 years plus of marketing
Integrity
experience.
and culture are extremely important.
You can still say, I don't know.
Stop multitasking and be present in the
Moms
moment.
have balls, big time.
Welcome to the Two Marketing Moms podcast. We are two women with more than 50 years of marketing and advertising experience between us, and we want to talk about the struggles, the fails, and the wins that we experienced while building our careers, being a boss, juggling work and a home life, and arguably the hardest and yet most fulfilling job, being a mom. This podcast was created for marketing and advertising professionals, especially the up-and-coming marketing stars of the future. We hope these tips, tricks, and advice will help you navigate work and life and get ahead.
Welcome to the Two Marketing Moms podcast. I'm Kelly Callahan-Poe, and today's episode is called The Purpose Pursuit, an empowering career in mission-driven marketing with Opeyemi Oluwole. Ope is a marketing leader with 25 years of experience driving consumer behavior change and revenue growth at world-class brands like American Express, Citigroup, and Delta Airlines. As a senior VP of consumer marketing at Teladoc Health, Ope is driving positive health outcomes by shifting consumer healthcare habits to broad-scale adoption of Teladoc Health's virtual services. Ope also serves on the board of directors of Stride Health, a gig worker benefits platform. Welcome, Ope.
Good morning, Kelly. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm happy to chat with you. We've had some fun conversations about mission-driven marketing, so let's dive right in. Can you talk a little bit about your career path that led you to where you are today at Teladoc Health?
Absolutely. So marketing is something that I discovered by mistake. I was an economics major in undergrad, and I always thought I would work at the World Bank, IFC, somewhere, something to do with finance or economics. And I happened upon my sister in the middle of college, and she said, "Hey, come with me to a marketing class." And I sat there for the first time and said, "My God, I have to do this for a living." And I had one internship after the other. I had an internship at a radio station, a PR firm, an advertising agency. And what came to mind for me was, I want to be on the other side. I want to be where the clients are who are coming in to work with us. And that kind of led me to the path in growth and life cycle marketing, which is where I've really focused a lot of my career. Along the way, a few things came to light for me that were very, very important to me personally. First thing was the culture. The people you work with who are like-minded as you is so very important to your work experience. The second thing was the impact. I love marketing. It is what I do. It is what I will always do. It's what brings me joy. The third thing I discovered along the way, while I was at American Express and worked in the small business area, while working in Open for American Express, I discovered that when you do mission-driven marketing, it just brought me joy. Being able to have an impact on people's lives brought me joy. And from that moment on, I said, anything I do going forward has to be mission-driven and has to be something that I truly care about and I can have an impact on, and I can work with people who I enjoy working with.
I love that. And when you talk about bringing joy to people, can you give us an example based on your work? How do you bring that joy? Are stories that you can tell?
Absolutely. And I think of it more as me helping people, right? So the favorite part of my job is when I hear a member tell us of how we've touched their lives. So just a few examples of members who I've heard from recently. One of them, Tom lost 45 pounds after seeing one of our primary care physicians. He is coming off of his diabetes medication soon. And he basically said, "You guys saved my life. Without you, I don't think I would have been able to do this." Another member of ours, Irene, said we helped her with her mental health. We helped her get her culture back as she met with one of our nutritionists. And finally, Howie lost one of his eyesight in one eye from diabetes. And because he works with us, he knows that he is empowered and he has the tools and he has the information to ensure that he can maintain his eyesight. So as I look at all these people, and there are thousands and millions more, we have over 80 million members that are eligible for Teladoc Health. And when I look at these three stories, you can see how very inspiring the work that myself and my team do in terms of connecting members to the care that they need when they need it.
But this has a personal impact on you, correct? I mean, you have a personal connection with healthcare, which has kind of led you to where you are today. Do you want to tell us that story?
Absolutely. A very personal story to me is a few years ago, my son had what his friends call a mystery illness. The doctors were not able to diagnose him for 3 or 4 weeks of him being in the hospital. What was so important to me at that time was I had my father, who is a physician, by my side. He translated all the numbers, he translated all the medical speak, and I felt empowered. I felt like I had the information I needed to make the decisions that I had to make and continue down the journey and path. Now, if you think about many people who think of you as a mom, if you're in that situation, there's so many mothers and there's so many parents who may not have access to somebody who's going to sit there with them and advocate for them and talk to the physicians for them. And I see this, and I was able to really bring it into the work that I do and think about how can I, through the marketing that I'm doing, empower the consumers who I serve? How can I educate them and give them the information that they need and really add value to their lives and help lead them down a path and a journey where they can be healthier and where, frankly, they have peace of mind in the decisions, and they have confidence in the decisions that they're making around their health or the health of their family. So that very, very, very personal experience has made me a much, much better marketer than I would say I was before going into the experience. And I've always been great at marketing, but it was such a personal experience that I feel impacted the way I do my job and the way I look at the people who I serve.
So I think it's obvious as to why mission-driven marketing is so important, but what do you see the benefits are to companies that are mission-driven, not just as an employee, but also kind of as an employer?
Yeah, there are a couple of things. I would say the benefits of mission-driven marketing: clear purpose. A company having very, very clear purpose is so, so very important. It drives the employees. The vision is crystal clear. The second thing is it really drives the culture, right? It attracts like-minded people. I look at myself at Teladoc Health today, and almost everybody who works there came because they want to help people live healthier lives. And that just breeds a culture of collaboration and a culture where people feel inspired in everything they do every day, and frankly drives really high retention and very high engagement and job satisfaction. When I think, the other thing that I think about is just customer loyalty, right?
Yeah.
People are very much attracted to companies that are aligned with their beliefs, their value systems, and serve a purpose. And you think about companies like Whole Foods, right? They're all about sustainability. They're all about sourcing food responsibly. And I am an avid customer and a very loyal customer of Whole Foods. And you can extrapolate that into many, many other industries, the automobile industry with Tesla, et cetera. But it really drives very, very high loyalty and following among the members and consumers of the company. And then finally, the impact. Mission-driven companies are helping to drive impact and to make this world a better place, to make the communities that they exist in better communities, and really to help impact people's lives in very, very positive ways.
Well, you mentioned your own company, Teladoc Health. You mentioned Whole Foods. You mentioned Tesla. Are there any other mission-driven organizations that you admire, and why?
Yeah, there's one that's called Devoted Health that is so very dear to my heart. Devoted Health, I met the co-founder, Todd Parks, a few years ago. And he told me about the mission of his company. And the mission of his company is treat every member like they're your family. And they're a healthcare company.
That's amazing.
The stories he told me about the behaviors it drives and the decisions that people make within the company truly inspired me. They are a Medicare company, and they serve people who are 65 plus in age and help get them access to insurance, health insurance. Devoted Health is a Medicare health insurance company. And I think about their mission. And during the COVID pandemic, one of the stories that Todd told me about was how one of the key attributes that many seniors have is loneliness.
Yes.
And COVID was very isolating for many of these people. Todd and his team pulled together virtual social gatherings. They're a health insurance company.
Wow.
So think about that kind of behavior. Those are the kinds of things that I would say that mission-driven companies do. They go above and beyond. And again, it drives loyalty, and it drives just positive culture and impact for the people that all of these companies serve.
I love that. Well, how can companies become more mission-driven?
Yeah, being mission-driven really starts from the top down. It starts from the CEO, and it starts from the vision that is set forth for the company. That's so very important. And then it trickles down into the values. And when you're able to pull that into the employees and what guides how the employees act, the strategies, the priorities, those are so very important in terms of building a mission-driven culture. It has to permeate everything that you do and sort of be the North Star for everybody who works at the company.
So what sort of trends are you seeing in the industry that are impacting mission-driven marketing? I think you've got some good stories to tell.
Yeah, that's a great question. As I think about the trends, so think about mission-driven marketing, and we can say sort of in the space of healthcare, for example. When I do my job well, I am influencing people and changing their behaviors so that they are doing more things to be healthier and to live healthier lives. Think of the amount of information that's coming at all of us as consumers and the need to break through to these individuals. So two key trends that I'm seeing now, one is around AI. AI, I actually see as a very, very positive thing. If you think about personalization, which is very important in order to break through and convince people and change behavior, AI is something that's actually around us in our day-to-day lives. So think about, when was the last time you downloaded or looked at a Netflix show, for example? It probably recommended what shows to watch to you. Those are AI models. They're serving up information that's most relevant to you. Or think about Starbucks, or even when you fly and you buy an airline ticket, you'll notice that the prices change often. Those are all AI models that are driving that level of personalization for consumers. The new trend in AI, or the new development in AI, is generative AI, which is creating personalized texting, personalized copy blocks. And I see this as a really, really powerful tool that comes with a level of responsibility that we all need to have, but a really powerful tool that can take and scale and make our jobs that much more powerful and impactful in terms of driving personalized recommendations for members and for consumers. When I talk about responsibility, though, it's important to always have human intervention. But generative AI is something where if you actually go on generative AI and look at, should I use generative AI for marketing? It says absolutely, but you need to have human intervention to ensure that it doesn't hallucinate, which is what it does sometimes, and brings in terms or words that don't exist. So being able to have a person who can validate the information is aligned with the brand, is ethical, and is meeting all legal requirements is super important. But think of the scale that could drive in terms of personalization. The second trend, I would say, really focuses around content modality. Video is a trend that is really beginning to take hold. So think about how you personally or your children consume information. Many kids today are watching full shows on YouTube. Back in our day, we watched television, network TV mostly, but YouTube and TikTok and Instagram Reels, etc. Video is so very important, and information is a determinant of health. If I were to pull it back to the industry I'm in, information is a determinant of health, and being able to serve up information to individuals in a way that they can consume it and understand it and be able to act on it is so important. So I look at YouTube, 34% of people who have chronic conditions say that they search on YouTube to get more information for them to help them make the right decisions, because it shows them people like themselves.
Yes.
They feel like they have a community. They feel more empowered by having this. So as I look at this trend of video, and it's going to evolve, there will be different trends that come up. It's so important as marketers for us to think about, how are we reaching members? How are we reaching consumers in the micro moments in their lives when they're making decisions, in the ways that they're consuming information, because we're competing against all the information that's coming at people every single day.
I love that. That makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. And content that's in formats that you personally can digest. So some people are visual, some people want to read things, some people want to listen to things, some people want, so being able to have a very diverse set of content so that you can meet people where they are, is very, very important.
So talk to me a little bit about, what advice would you give to young people who are interested in mission-driven marketing, for example, right out of college? How would you guide them?
There's three very important things I would say to a young person, or even I were to say to me coming out of college, is don't be afraid to try many different things. There's so many different areas of marketing. And I tried PR, I tried advertising, I even worked at a think tank. And all of those experiences led me to where I am today. The second thing is, always look back to understand, what about those experiences do you absolutely love? And also understand what you don't want to do again. And that will help really shape and serve as a beacon or compass for you as you think about what your next steps are in your career. And then finally, when you shape what you want to do and when you understand that, go for it. Be very persistent. And there's so much joy that comes from finding what you love and finding a space where you feel like you can have an impact. For me personally, it's helping people and being able to work in a job where I feel like I'm helping people every day It inspires me. It gets me up in the morning. And for me, being able to work in a job that I am passionate about and that I'm helping people, it inspires me, and it is a reason for me to be excited about getting started with work every single day. And as a mom, any time that I'm spending away from my kids, I want it to be time that's truly enjoyable and something that I feel like I'm having an impact or really affecting people's lives in a positive way.
I think that's a wonderful final thought, Ope. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much, Kelly.